Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to respond to some comments from the comment section of my YouTube channel, specifically about the rewards and the exploitation of the rewards within the Splinterlands blockchain-based video game. If you're new to my channel, I cover this game, and I have for years because it's changed my life. And I still cover this game because even in 2025, I believe it has potential to change one's life. And so if that sounds interesting, I invite you to stick around. Otherwise, maybe check out the next video. Okay guys, let's get into it. So there's some interesting conversation in the comment section of my YouTube channel. When you leave comments, I do my best to read them, so please keep dropping them. And I actually really appreciate a couple of comments I've seen quickly. I've spent 5 minutes reading them beforehand. I don't usually do this. When I go to the comment section, I just kind of turn on the camera and see what happens. But today I've got into the comment section looking for one topic to tackle. And really, I see some great conversation around this video recently where I talked about Splinterlands rewards exploit. And I called the video, "Are Splinterlands rewards broken? Debating reform versus reality in the modern league." And it was a response to Tales from the Cryptmancer, who, if you don't know, covers Splinterlands from maybe a more realistic, or some would say like pessimistic worldview. And I say that with love, but if you were to compare his channel to mine, you would definitely say I'm more rose-colored glasses and he's more pessimism. And so hopefully we both are cutting through to what is reality, but there is that tint from our own perspective, our own bias. And so anyways, Tails had to say about, let's say, modern league reward structure as being, quote, exploited at the highest levels because of certain accounts that are being able to dominate and climb to the craziest tippy top of the leagues. Let's quickly feature that. If we come into rank, we can see what the top level players look like. We come into modern. We come into, I think it's season activity. Leaderboard will present to us the best of the best. And so the leaderboard in champion within modern is, look at this, Lorcus at 9,400 RP versus me 3,800 RP. And then next is Kezrin, who has 9,220, and there's a 400 RP drop off to Hamv. And as you can see, like the top 5 in 8,000 plus, the top 10 6,000 plus. These players, though, just to set the stage for the conversation, they've spent a lot of money on this game. They've invested in cards over the years, and they have huge collections of cards. Huge. I happen to know, because we talk about Kezrin in the video, that he has over $500,000 worth of cards in this game alone. And it was like, I want to say it might have been $100,000 worth of summoners or something like that. So anyways, these people are deep pockets. And so that sets the stage for what we were talking about. And now I want to address some of the comments because there's some great chat in here about this. First of all, I see, here's a bit of a salty, and I'll gloss over this. This won't be a main thrust here, but look at what the pick says. Leagues need to be revived. Simply put, greedily taking out the tiny rewards killed the growth of new players while making the top rewards, or the rewards, top heavy. That said, this guy has like 500,000 in cards and deserves those rewards. So a bit of a, I wouldn't call it salty exactly, but there's, he feels that it was a negative move to move away from leagues, and I think many people have shared that voice. One of the things you're gonna see as a thread that goes through this video is gonna be the fact that there really are no changes that are going to be unanimous or that are going to be universally approved of, because there's always two sides to every scenario. If we increased rewards at the lower league levels, that would have ramifications for the lower players and ramifications for the upper players, wouldn't it? There's only so much reward pool. Same with if we aim at the highest, and it's going to have a ramification for the let's say the krill. And so there's never anything that's going to work for everybody, and we have to take that with a grain of salt. I do hear a lot of respected voices talk about a need to return to leagues, and reel that distinction where you could like cap out. You don't have to ascend to the next level. You're in silver. You want to stay in silver. You can stay in silver. I don't know if I have a firm opinion about that, but clearly the conversation around moving around rewards, I don't think is quite so easy as saying it was good and now it's broken. I think the truth is it's always in some state of some gray area of striving for success. That's what I would say to what the pick. Now, here's one of the main comments that really grabbed my attention today that I want to focus on most of the video for. Dustin Webb jumped in with some disagreement towards my opinions in this video, where again, Tails had some opinions about exploits at the highest level, and that was a word he used. I fought back, and I would say fought back. That's a fair, I like Tails, but I disagreed, and I said, I don't know if I would use the word exploit because bro has like $500,000 worth of cards, meaning he's deeply invested, and so to some extent, doesn't he deserve a significant reward? And I see What the Pick agreeing with me in some ways on that part of the conversation, but Dustin doesn't. Here's what he says. Just to address Dwayne's argument that the big numbers remove the issue of exploitation, like if he has $500,000 worth of cards, he isn't exploiting the game. That was maybe it's probably fair to say that was one of my points. And Dustin says that's a bad idea. He goes, with all respect, this is a silly take. While I do appreciate some of his points, meaning me, the large numbers required to take advantage of an exploit has nothing to do with whether or not it's an exploit. You know what? As I read this, Dustin, I think you're right, actually. And I don't know if that means that I changed my opinion with respect to, Tails, and maybe agreeing that, for instance, something needs to be done at the highest levels. Because there was two issues. It wasn't just about how much rewards you're getting for how much investment you have. That was a piece of the conversation, but maybe the primary conversation was around the bots that allow people like Kezrin and those other accounts which we featured here, like Lorcus and Kezrin and Hamv, and these guys have gotten this kind of ratings by playing 1 million matches. Look at how many matches he's got. Battles, 629 battles. Kezrin, 780. Hamv, 820. That you only get 25 battles a day. There's only a 15-day season. This is, a lot of extra battles. 25 battles a day, 10 across 10 days would be 250. Across 15 days would be 375-ish. And we've only gone 14 days because the season isn't even over, right? So call it 400 just for easy math. He's doubled the matches by buying energy. So is Kezrin. Lorcus has not maybe doubled, but he's gotten a lot of extra battles. And so you see the point, like they are at the highest levels able to extract by buying energy and then receive rewards that are allowing that reputation to continue happening, because the reward was paying for the energy itself. And so I do actually agree, I think, in some sense. I think coming back to the commenter, he's right. The fact that he put in 500 grand into cards doesn't mean his actions are beyond, let's say, criticism. Kezrin, I'm referring to, or any big whale that's buying energy. And yet I wouldn't say that I'm critical of them. They're just playing within the structure. So then it comes back to the same starting question. It's not so much, are they exploiting? It's more, is the game designed in such a way? Because an exploit, and I feel like I'm a little on shaky ground here, but I'm just gonna share my thoughts, and you guys tell me. I feel as though an exploit is the rules are intended to reflect X, and you circumvent them in a way to obtain Y. You're breaking some piece of the game to extract more than you're supposed to be allowed to. Whereas within this case, everyone's allowed to buy energy, and the energy has a fixed cost or a specific cost. And if it so happens that the rewards exceed your energy purchase, that's not, in my mind, an exploit. It's a part of how the game is designed at that level. Now, simultaneously, I can say that and also say that maybe the rewards at those levels should be looked at. But I really would pull back from all of that, because I think Dustin's right in some ways. I think Tails is right in some ways. I would just pull back from that because I don't think that's a cornerstone of the conversation. And this is maybe where I want to wrap this conversation up. It's this idea that, even whether or not the rewards are exploitable, whether or not these people are exploiting, those are secondary conversations to the more important conversation around how the bots allow ratings inflation. That's the core of this thing. If the bots are super effective, they're going to shut us down and prevent ratings inflation within the game. If they're less effective, they're going to be easy wins, even at the highest levels. And when you're at the top of the rank, you're going to face off against them because you don't have a lot of partners to face off against. There's not a lot of players in the top 5 of the game. And so in order to find an equal match, you get stuck against a bot. If you know how to smack around a bot, it's an easy W. is that to me is the issue. Not whether or not the energy is free because of the glint or because of the, and those are important issues too. But the core of the core is, how effective are these bots? Are they helping the game or are they hindering the game? They're helping in the sense of, and again, nothing's black or white. That's the, we can't come away from a conversation and say everyone, I started this conversation by saying there's no answer that resolves everyone's, concern, because we're from different sides of the, the tracks, and we have different opinions on every single matter. And so really, while I think the ratings inflation issue points towards bots being bad because they're being, quote, exploited by the highest of the high in the game to win at the tippy top of the rank leagues, that can be true. And simultaneously, we might say that bots are a net positive in terms of finding liquidity, in terms of, improving wait times, or whatever other metric we want to look at. My question isn't how do we fix the reward structure? It's how do we resolve, or how do we review the bot liquidities, or the liquidity bots within the rank experience? Do they need to be set to a higher degree of difficulty? Does that difficulty need to drop off and become easier and easier at the lowest league, so that maybe at high diamond they're smacking us around, and maybe at the highest levels of champ they are getting beat up constantly? That's a real question to me. And I wonder if that has an easy answer, because I think truthfully it probably doesn't. Programming a bot to beat the masses is probably a different program than programming a bot to beat the best of the best in this game. Do you see what I mean? But that conversation is more important to me than how much glint is paid out or how much SPS is paid out at whatever league level. And one last thought on the glint payout, though, to try to maybe wrap up the fullness of the conversation. I did say in the video, and I do stand by, maybe we should pull away from glint. Why are we allowing energy to be sold through glint? I thought glint was a reward card purchase currency. So I don't know if this was an value add with respect to this conversation, but I just saw Dustin's comment and I really appreciated it. And I thought he deserved a response. He gives more examples in there, talking about how there are governmental examples around the world, or business examples around the world, that really show that exploits at the highest levels of finance are still exploits. And I think you're right, Dustin, but I think the issue in our game is less about quote unquote exploit and more about how we handle the liquidity bots, how we program them, where are they effective, where are they ineffective. Finding a balance or a better organization to that will probably resolve this quote unquote exploit with respect to rewards. And I think I should wrap it there, but I did want to say, no, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much, guys, for your time and attention. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you're still enjoying Splinterlands. I hope you enjoy the videos. I'm going away for a week, August 3rd through 10, but I'm going to try and get some videos prepped up and planned out so that you have content while I'm away. Thank you. Have an awesome day. God bless.